I was on this date one time, and it turned out to be one of the most obnoxious human beings I think I've ever met. And there was a point in the middle of the evening where I said, well, I'm done. And I just said, it's been real. And I went to a diner where I expected to run into some people that I really liked,
Yeah.
some friends of mine. And they were there, and we ended up talking for hours and having a wonderful time. I mean, the option to just, is always there on the table
Yeah.
when you have a community. When you're isolated, I feel like that option might not be so readily available. One might feel
Right. I don't
obligated.
like you, but you're the only person who will talk to me. So I guess.
Right, I'm stuck with you
So,
now,
yeah.
so that's that.
Yeah.
And I would hasten to add that, I was 18 years old or 17 years old or something like that. So
Yeah.
Leaving was one of the options available to me intellectually at the time.
Yeah.
I might have other options now,
No.
like not even going.
Right.
But yeah, so community for me is diversity, it's choices, it's many things,
Yeah.
and the last thing it represents is a force that coerces me to do something I don't want to do.
Hmm. Well, I mean, surely people do want you and have wanted you to do things that you didn't want to do,
Sure.
and that you just wouldn't define them as community. You define them as.
No, they're part of my community too. I don't have to, the idea that I have to agree with everybody in my community is just not real.
Yeah.
And it's also unsustainable.
Yeah.
You just can't go through life that way.
Yeah.
And so you need to, excuse me, my neighbor, you need to do the, you need to be faithful to yourself.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, for me, it doesn't mean excluding everyone else, or staying home because somebody might ask me to do something I don't want to do, because no is a perfectly reasonable response. In fact, I often write to members of my team, I often write, okay, so we have this to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm wondering if you could do this, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I know it's short notice, so please understand, no is an absolutely acceptable response.
Right.
And because that's how I think. I mean, that's what I would give myself,
Right. And that's also something that I've only come to realize recently, that in growing up, my basic assumption was that you should always answer yes to a request. And if you don't want someone to answer yes to your request, you shouldn't make it. And it's only as an adult that I've looked at that and thought how it's like we were saying. It's like I was saying before. If the only response you get is either I like it or silence, that really isn't an improvement. That really isn't better than I don't like it, because it leaves you wondering. You wonder whether someone didn't invite you to their birthday party because they didn't want you there, or because they forgot about you, or because they thought that you had something better to do and they didn't want to impose. This sort of holding back your questions and requests from people creates so much uncertainty that it becomes impossible for anyone to know what anyone else wants.
The other thing, by the way, is
Yeah.
Is about community is uncertainty, and the way uncertainty provokes thought. and how it invites understanding. I you know, here I'm learning words every day.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to understand every day. It's my life. And you know, a new language and new structures, new social structures, all of this sort of thing. And there's every opportunity for me to screw up. And there's a point at which you have to say to yourself, well, either I simply don't grow or I screw up on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's how I'm going to grow.
Yeah.
And so I just make up my mind that I'm going to screw up on a regular basis and get on with it.
Yeah.
And it's marvelous. It's marvelous for several reasons. First of all, because you learn a lot of things that you would have never learned if you had stayed quiet or closed the door.
Right.
The second thing is, it's riotously funny. And that, you know, I mean, I can be at home in the evening cooking and thinking about, you know, the day and what happened, and just be in a storm of humor because of what happened or what I, you know, what I got or what I didn't get or what I understood or didn't, you know, just beautiful, you know. And so I think that this is another thing about, you know, the book that I deeply question.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way, and this is where this thought was leading me.
Yeah.
The way in which there seems to be a course, a path that you follow into deep work.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so my first question was, where's the joy? Where's the fascination? Why do I need rules to be fascinated by something? Why can't I just be fascinated by it? And what is this thing about distraction that I shouldn't have any?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think distraction has played a key role in my life and in my thought process. And there are many times when I just quite deliberately mix it up because in the back of my mind, something's going on. And unless I stir the pot, I don't know what it is. And even if I stir the pot, I might not find out, but there's something there, it's going on. And if I stay in this sentence by sentence, line by line routine, I'm not going to get that thing out.
Yeah.
You know, I need to mix this up somehow. I need to watch a Marx Brothers film, or I need to, you know, I need to look at this book instead of that book, or, you know, and look at that book, not because, or this book, not because it's thematically close. In fact, it might not be at all. But this thing I'm after, I don't know what it is. So how do I know where to look? So I should look everywhere. You know, it's like this guy, this friend of mine, Jake Treff, God, I miss him. He said one day, he said, you know, I was complaining about the fact that I couldn't find something. And someone said, you know, someone said, well, where did you last see it? and Jake said, when something is lost, it means you don't know where you last saw it. and this is it, you know, when you can't find this thought, you don't know where it is. So look everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, look everywhere.